don't get too attached to that Anandu too, because I've seen the future and he has a very grisly end. Very bloody. I don't think you could stomach it. Oh, really? Try me. Well, he gets split in half like a Twix candy bar. Oh my god. That's awful. Yes. And Anandu too, if you're watching this, just let me say, I hope your mustachioed friend Dustin was worth it. I mean, getting ripped in half vertically by Jehovah. I hope your walking mustache of a friend was worth the gruesome and excruciating death you face. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, that's not the worst of it. Do you remember Truth for JWs? Yeah. What happens to him? Well, at Armageddon, Jehovah gives him a flat-top haircut and makes him walk down a nude beach in high-heel shoes. Oh my god. Oh, that's terrible. Wait, do you remember Piano Davy? Yes, but I'm afraid to ask. Well, when the new order comes, Jehovah makes him read an apology to the great crowd of millions of people, and then he puts him in a giant slingshot and sends him flying through the air. Oh, no! Oh, hello, friends. I didn't realize you were here. I'm just enjoying a conversation here with my new friend Jehovah Bear. He's from the future, and he was regaling me with some of his adventures in the new system of things. But I guess we should continue now with my personal life story and our adventure where it left off in 2011. And it had now been about 2.5 years since I had been marked by Jehovah's Witnesses. And the local Kingdom Hall had given a marking talk about me. And they let the audience know that anyone talking to me did so at their own peril. And at the risk of their own standing. That you could still technically talk to me, but if you got seen doing it in public, there might be repercussions on your reputation, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. But, yeah! It's all right. But, yeah, that right there deleted about 85% of everyone I knew. But it's okay. It never bothered me. Really. It never has. Would you like to know why? Well, a few different reasons I'll tell you about. First of all, this has to happen. The names change, but the shunning policy is a life cycle that must keep renewing itself. If you spent years or decades at the Kingdom Hall, you probably came to realize that disfellowshippings are periodic. Although it's a relatively small number of people getting DF'd, it keeps happening on a regular basis. Over and over again. You may have wondered, why would an organization desperate for membership keep tossing out members left and right? They spend enormous amounts of time and energy going from house to house, hoping to find anyone new to become a JW. But the JWs already at the hall keep getting thrown away like moldy bread. Seriously, friends, have you noticed? Whenever some lowlife at a door agrees to have a Bible study, they clamor over him. But when someone is already trying their best, they're at the Kingdom Hall, they're already wearing a suit, they already got the tie, they give those people the kiss of death. And I suppose the easy answer is they do it to make examples out of them and scare the others back in line. And I suppose that's true, but I think it's a little more complex than that. You see, the congregation itself has its own unique appetites. Have you ever been in a hall where no one has gotten disfellowshipped for over a year, maybe 2 years? And did you notice that maybe people were getting a little stir crazy? I mean, it's been months since anyone got reproved or DF'd or disassociated, and people are getting restless. They're starting to squirm in their seats. Let me tell you a little secret. Disfellowshipping isn't something Watchtower does to the sheep. It's something it does for the sheep. You know how we were talking about how Kingdom Hall meetings are where JWs go to get high? They get high, friends. Well, disfellowshippings are like orgasms. It's the most thrilling moment of the entire JW experience. When you see the brother walking up to the stage and he's got that little folded up slip of paper in his hand, oh, it's a rush. It's like shooting heroin. You can feel the electricity in the air. When the guy doing the local announcement pauses in the middle of it and says, "Now Brother Johnson has an announcement to read to the congregation." And everyone holds their breath with excitement because they know what's coming. The guillotine is about to drop. You got that tingling feeling. But who will it be? And of course, they can't just let this announcement be read with all the others. An elder sitting out in the audience has to be called to the stage to open a slip of paper and read it like a jury foreman with a verdict. And yes, the verdict is always guilty, but the anticipation comes from not knowing who it will be. And friends, those 10 or 12 seconds where the elder rises from his seat and slowly sashays to the stage and the attendant jumps up and adjusts the mic stand for him. Oh, it's a moment in time. Boom goes the dynamite, friends. But the fun part comes after the meeting, when everyone meets at Dairy Queen and you all sit around together and discuss the disfellowship person. And you get to offer conjectures as to the nature of their sin and the double life they must have been living. It's great fun, friends. It's part of what JWs need to keep going. A strong mental contrast between the loyal ones, i.e. them, and the disloyal ones, those who are disfellowshipped. Timely reminders of what the price of failure looks like. The backdrop of the good ones versus the bad ones is a vital component of the JW mindset. You see, for Jehovah to one day say to them, "Well done, faithful slave," there has to be the contrast of the wicked slave that buried his mina in the ground and did nothing with it. For them to be found wearing their wedding garments, there has to be those thrown outside where the weeping and gnashing of their teeth will be. Yeah! I like that. And this is the paradox of the Jehovah's Witness preaching work. If you ask a JW, why is it so important for you to go to each and every door? They will, hold on. I'm going to come at this from a different direction. Now, the Bible says that God does not desire for any to be destroyed, correct? That's a Bible quote, right? Okay. And it also says, with God, all things are possible. Am I right? Okay. So why is something God wants impossible? Why has everyone getting saved, which is possible, become that which is impossible. And it is impossible. I mean, Armageddon's not going to get called off like a baseball game on a rainy day, is it? I want you to imagine something incredible happens one day. Just hang with me here, friends. One day, everyone in the world just throws their hands up and says, "You win, Jehovah's Witnesses. We tried to resist you, but the constant pressure and badgering and guilt trips you put on us finally worked. You win." And all at once, every single person on earth gives up their worldly lifestyles and submits to JWs. Yay! JWs win. They win. They get their way. Everyone quits going to rated R movies. Everyone quits celebrating birthdays. And most importantly, everyone quits their jobs and dedicates themselves to being full-time, regular pioneers. Because, after all, that is the prescribed lifestyle recommended by Watchtower magazine. And the JWs get their wish. Everyone in the world makes the correct life choice and starts going out in service and riding around in little car groups every day. But who builds the roads for those cars to drive on? Who designs the cars or fills them with gas? If JWs got their way and everyone started going door to door like them, whose door would they knock on? Whoever you are out there watching this, if you are anything other than a full-time Jehovah's Witness, the position of Watchtower magazine is that you ain't living right. They say that going door to door with Watchtower magazines is the only life choice that is acceptable, and anything other than that is a deviation from the correct way of living. But it's a Pandora's box. If everyone is supposed to be out there knocking on doors with them, whose doors do they knock on? Go put that in your documentary, PBS. Whether you are someone raised as a JW who disagrees with the doctrines now, or just some regular person who wants to have a Christmas party at work, Jehovah's Witnesses are going to tell you that who you are is bad and wrong. The irony is, their sick little imaginary world can't exist without you. Their interpretation of the Bible can't come true if you aren't who you are, if you aren't there doing what you're doing. So why do JWs always want to punish you for who you are? And try to force you to live by JW standards when it's biblically impossible for everyone to fit into their sick little world? If you ask a JW, why do you go door to door? They're going to say, well, I want everyone to come to the truth and be saved. And you say, yeah, but you don't mean that. And they say, yes, I do. Every single person I talk to, I want to save them. But if Jehovah says that he is going to destroy the sea of mankind from one end of the earth to the other, aren't you working in opposition to him by trying to save them? Well, no, not really. You see, we try to save everyone with the good news. But Jehovah is realistic. He knows that most people aren't going to listen to us, and they'll reject the message. then how can you deliver that message in earnest? You go house to house saying you're trying to save everyone, but then you hand them a magazine saying that this effort, by and large, has already been predetermined to fail. Do you think maybe the householder will find this to be disingenuous? After all, it seems like kind of a mixed message. Well, how do you mean? Let's say that there's a company out there owned by a businessman, and that businessman publishes a mission statement for his company. It's the goal he wants his company to achieve. However, the employees of that company also have a mission statement. Except their mission statement is different from the business owners. In fact, it's contrary to it. Do you think that's a sound business model? Or, to put it in Jesus' words, do you think a house divided against itself isn't going to fall? The whole premise of the preaching work is that you're going to try to save someone every time you knock on people's doors. But Jehovah already decided he's going to exterminate everyone except for the people knocking on doors. Do you see a conflict here? It would seem that your mission statements are mutually exclusive. Well, no, not really. The people who get destroyed, it will be their own fault. Jehovah tried to save them. Wait a minute. How can Jehovah try to do something and fail? How can Jehovah want to do something, set forth to accomplish it, and it not succeed?
Excuse me, can I interject here for a moment?
Well, we're in the middle of a video, but all right.
In the new order, I just want all of you to know that your YouTube channels will not exist. They'll be gone, and your computers themselves will be destroyed.
Thank you for that.
Also, we burnt all the books because they're worldly.
I thought as much, but all right, let's get...
It's because writing books and reading them has also been banned. Because that would be independent thinking like Adam and Eve succumbed to.
All right, good point.
So books are a thing of the past.
What about the Bible?
Actually, the Bible is no longer necessary. You see, mankind has been restored to perfection, and the sovereignty issue has been settled. So, there's no reason to continue bringing up the past. There are, however, the new scrolls that will be opened in heaven. So, you can enjoy that. Reading a scroll.
Thank you, Jehovah Bear.
Also, everyone will be naked. What? Naked? Yes, they will. You didn't know that?
I think I heard something about that sometime, but I didn't take it seriously. People are really going to be naked in the new system?
Yes! You see, once mankind has been restored to perfection, they will go back to being naked, just like Adam and Eve. It's true.
All right. Well, I know some people who would get a kick out of that.
Every day, you will be surrounded by thousands of naked people with perfect bodies.
And remember, if you ever think about sex, even for 1 second, you will get vaporized. Because Jehovah can read your thoughts.
So I hope you all have plenty of self-control.
Because you'll be needing it when you have to go trillions of years without ever thinking about sex, surrounded by naked people.
Speaking of sex, I hope you like child molesters, because the new order's full of them, and they're naked. Oh my God! That's terrible! What? It's true! It's true. Thousands of JWs are repentant child molesters, aren't they? And in the new system, those people are going to be completely naked with your wife and kids. Your family's going to be naked with naked child molesters. Everyone's naked. This is the real world of Jehovah's Witnesses, by the way. This is what they teach. But don't worry, everyone. I'm just kidding with you. There's no such thing as sex in the New Order. You see, men and women were given sex organs so they could multiply and fill the earth. But once Paradise Earth gets filled, the only reason to have sex would be for selfish pornographic delights. Good point. And because Jehovah is a God of purpose, he will discontinue the human reproduction process. Isn't that good news? In the new order, your pee-pee will fall off, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. You'll save a fortune on condoms. The human race will be genderless. Thank you, Jehovah Bear. That will be all. Yeah, I've heard about that no more sex theory before, but I gotta tell you, let me ask you something, Jehovah Bear. Come back. How is the animal population gonna be controlled? I mean, they don't stop reproducing because they still die. And since they don't have any natural enemies anymore, how do their numbers get capped? Interesting you should ask. You see, after Armageddon, we didn't destroy all the weapons. We saved a few machine guns just for that purpose. And once a year, we line up a couple hundred bunny rabbits in front of a wall and blow them to pieces. Oh my God. That's awful. Actually, it's quite enjoyable. I had the privilege of receiving that assignment, and let me tell you, it was like orange juice with strawberries and cream pie. By the way, the dead bodies made a great fertilizer for my tulip garden. Friends, if you're someone who wants to break away from Jehovah's Witnesses, but you're scared about losing your friends and family, can I tell you something? You're not going to miss them as much as you think you will. One day it will dawn on you that they don't care about you. They never did. And not because something's wrong with you, it's because something's wrong with them. They're sick, twisted little people with messed up minds, and no matter how much you care about them, they can't return the feeling. They just don't have that capacity inside them. They are taught that at the Kingdom Hall, they teach people that their only real friend is Jehovah. If they get married, it's not man and wife, it's man, wife, and Jehovah. The three chords. The three tenors. Oh. If you've heard the stories about JW women going to the elders and saying, "My husband asked me to give him a Cleveland steamer last night." And you wonder, how could a person try to get their own marriage mate disfellowshipped? Well, here's the thing. Imagine there's an auditorium full of people, and the speaker comes out on the stage. He's got a special offer. He's going to give each one of you a mansion, a big, beautiful, palatial home surrounded by flower gardens. And it's in a gated community with no crime. And you get to live there for the rest of your life with no worries. It's like paradise. But you can't take your kids with you. In fact, you can't ever talk to them again. You just have to forget about them. Who's in? What do you think the reaction of that audience would be? If you were sitting there, could you spot the Jehovah's Witnesses in the audience? Yeah, they're the ones with their hands up. And you may ask yourself, how can these people live with themselves?
I'll tell you how. Oh no. I'm back. Bring the cottage cheese. Set it down there. I have a gun. It's quite simple, really. I still have a machine gun. I'm going to get it. It's all very simple. You see, in the new order, the former things will not be called to mind. Jehovah God will carefully extract all memories of your loved ones that didn't make it. Isn't that nice? They will be completely removed from your memory, so you won't miss them or be sad. And you can enjoy the paradise. Enjoy the strawberries and whipped cream that are available. None of your unhappy experiences from the old system of things will be allowed to haunt you. Wait a minute, Jehovah Bear. How can all of these people and places and things just get extracted from your brain? The rest of your memories wouldn't make sense after that. Even if Jehovah can manage to cut and paste a few uncontaminated happy memories from your past and put them all together, how could they mean anything without context or a frame of reference? I mean, your brain would be like tomato soup. By the way, tomato soup is delicious. Thank you for reminding me what I'd like to have for lunch tomorrow. But you want to know the truth? All right. In the new order, you get your memory wiped out, and you begin from there. When Watchtower says the former things will not be called to mind, buddy, they mean it. So it will be someone else's mind in my body? No! You get a new body, remember? Oh, yeah. So if my memories are gone, and it's a different body, how could that be me? Well, it's a new person. A better one. Like Tom Berenger. Isn't that what you want? Last year, I called my mother on the phone to check on her. She said she's fine, but that Dad was not feeling that well, and he had some heavy stuff to load on a trailer, but just didn't have the strength to get it on there. So I went over to my parents' house, and I helped them get everything loaded up. And while I was there, I told my parents that there was a new movie out, and I really wanted them to come see it with me. It was something fairly innocuous. I think it had a dog in it. I can't remember. But the real reason I wanted them to go was that they didn't really talk to me anymore. There was nothing to talk about. And they were getting old. I just wanted to spend a little bit of time with them. And my mom said she wasn't feeling up to it, but Dad could go. And so Dad went with me, and we watched the little movie, and we went to Burger King after that, and it was fine. On the drive home, Dad said to me, "You know, if you get yourself disfellowshipped, we won't be able to do stuff like this anymore." And I said, "Dad, we didn't do stuff like this before. We never went to the movies. You're always too busy being an elder. We hardly ever did anything fun." And he said, "I mean, if you're disfellowshipped, I won't be able to talk to you anymore." And I said, "I'm your son. I'm on your side every day, all the time, no matter what. You would really choose people who don't even like you over me?" And my dad turned around and he looked at me and he said, "How could you do the things you've done?" And I said, "Dad,
How could you do the things you've done? You gambled away our family's future on the idea that Armageddon was coming. It's absurd. And if you don't like things I've said or done, I'm sorry. But I was never supposed to be here doing them anyway. All the time when we were kids, they said the new system would be here before we ever grew up. And my dad said, "They never said that." And as soon as I heard those words, "They never said that," I stopped the conversation right there. I realized that I wasn't talking to my dad. I was talking to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Company from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I also realized that no matter how much you want to, you can't save people who don't want to get saved. And my parents don't live far from me. And if they ever need help loading a trailer again, they can call me and I'll be right there. But that night was when I finally said goodbye to my family. I let go of them. And I just said goodbye to the whole thing. The district conventions, the meeting nights, the book bags, the car groups, the Kingdom Melodies, the CO visits. I let go of all that stuff. I let go of my brothers and sisters. I let go of Stapp and Hanson and Uncle Joe. I let go of Casey Holt. I let go of Iceman. I let go of Jehovah's Witnesses for the last time, and I went on with my life.
And our adventure, where it left off, in 2011, and it had now been about 2.5 years since I had been marked by Jehovah's Witnesses. And the local Kingdom Hall had given a marking talk about me. And they let the audience know that anyone talking to me did so at their own peril. And at the risk of their own standing. That you could still technically talk to me, but if you got seen doing it in public, there might be repercussions on your reputation, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. But, yeah! It's all right. But, yeah, that right there deleted about 85% of everyone I knew. But it's okay. It never bothered me. Really. It never has. Would you like to know why? Well, a few different reasons I'll tell you about. First of all, this has to happen. The names change, but the shunning policy is a life cycle that must keep renewing itself. If you spent years or decades at the Kingdom Hall, you probably came to realize that disfellowshippings are periodic. Although it's a relatively small number of people getting DF'd, it keeps happening on a regular basis. Over and over again. You may have wondered, why would an organization desperate for membership keep tossing out members left and right? They spend enormous amounts of time and energy going from house to house, hoping to find anyone new to become a JW. But the JWs already at the hall keep getting... Don't get too attached to that Anandu too, because I've seen the future and he has a very grisly end. Very bloody. I don't think you could stomach it. Oh, really? Try me. Well, he gets split in half like a Twix candy bar. Oh my God. That's awful. Yes. And an on to if you're watching this, just let me say, I hope your mustachioed friend Dustin was worth it. I mean, getting ripped in half vertically by Jehovah. I hope your walking mustache of a friend was worth the gruesome and excruciating death you face. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, that's not the worst of it. Do you remember Truth for JWs? Yeah. What happens to him? Well, at Armageddon, Jehovah gives him a flat-top haircut and makes him walk down a nude beach in high-heel shoes. Oh my God. Oh, that's terrible. Wait, do you remember Piano Davy? Yes, but I'm afraid to ask. Well, when the new order comes, Jehovah makes him read an apology to the great crowd of millions of people, and then he puts him in a giant slingshot and sends him flying through the air. Oh, no! Oh, hello, friends. I didn't realize you were here. I'm just enjoying a conversation here with my new friend Jehovah Bear. He's from the future, and he was regaling me with some of his adventures in the new system of things. But I guess we should continue now with my personal life story and thrown away like moldy bread. Seriously, friends, have you noticed? Whenever some lowlife at a door agrees to have a Bible study, they clamor over him. But when someone is already trying their best, they're at the Kingdom Hall, they're already wearing a suit, they already got the tie, they give those people the kiss of death. And I suppose the easy answer is they do it to make examples out of them and scare the others back in line. And I suppose that's true, but I think it's a little more complex than that. You see, the congregation itself has its own unique appetites. Have you ever been in a hall where no one has gotten disfellowshipped for over a year?